Yo people, welcome back to another video. I can see Horace is mocking me, but yeah, uh, in backstage at his backstage. But first of all, everyone, big up for us joining the streams and keeps liking them and subscribe. Big up and yeah, let's welcome our first guest, Mr. Restocks Football. How are you,
Yes,
mate?
people, welcome back to another
Uh,
stream. Yes, pleasure for having me on. And yeah, man, top six show. Obviously, we got people from Salzburg rejecting Chelsea. So yeah, man, interesting.
yeah. But next we got the real list of Arsenal money. How are you doing it? We can't
You're
hear
me,
you.
money, you're me.
I don't. Is he on mute?
Is it on me?
I don't think he's on mute. Honey, we can't hear you. So we can't hear you. Check settings. Check settings. Check settings.
Oh,
Okay, I think you will join back now.
yeah, you.
Some podcast says he completely agrees on it. I think he's just speechless on the situation with Mr. What fraudulent or whatever fraudulent. Could say fraudulent. That's what I call him. Money. I nope. Still no
No.
sound. Check settings. If the settings is correct, we could hear you backstage. We could hear you.
Now I
Wait. Yes, now I can hear you.
found out now.
So yeah.
I think this button over here mutes it, so I think it was inadvertently pressed. So I don't know how that happened. It's not going to happen again. My apologies.
Okay. No, there's no words. It happened to best of us. JPT's laughing. Watford fans is Us Money. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Money. Do you know how to pronounce that?
It's I think it's Saeed, but it's spelled Sasid. In Arabic, it is Sa'id. Saeed.
Is it Saeed or Saeed?
I mean, clearly
Saeed.
he's a
It's
Watford fan,
Saeed.
so
It's spelled Saeed.
Okay.
So I think he's an Arab guy. So مساء الخير يا
yeah.
حبيبي. كيف حالك؟ الحمد لله.
What?
كويس.
Okay. It
Yeah,
says
that's
hello and I wish your team good luck. Be up. I think you're new to the channel. Be up, bro.
okay.
And yeah, hopefully we can see more of you in the chat and talk more Watford. I know Championship fans I have or don't like Watford very much, so I can tell you that one. Be up Chelsea fans, be up on in the panel. So yeah, so I I think we should, of course, I think we should start. Okay, so let me first tell you guys how this is going to be. So it's going to be mostly, hopefully, once a week or maybe even
Is
every
that a bird?
whenever. Yeah, that's how bad. Maybe twice a week or
Yeah.
whenever there is an international break, we will have the top six show discussing the top six teams, of course. Um, just topics surrounding each team. We've got United with Ten Hag, how we got to the respect of his players, maybe, or is Rashford back on form? Is Martinez?
Rashford is not back on form. No.
Is Martinez one of the
He's the
best
best defender
centre
in the
back.
world. Yeah. Yes,
The best
yes.
centre back in the Premier League on form, easy, such topics. Arsenal, Arteta, should he be kept in a job?
Super Mick Arteta. He knows
And
exactly what we need.
yeah, and
Zinchenko at the back. Gabi in attack. Arsenal way to win the league.
Okay, Oris, listen. If you
nah,
sing that song one more time, I'm gonna issue a moratorium on you. Every time you sing that song on a live stream with me, you're gonna pay me £1. Do you understand? I'll give you my PayPal
Yes.
link. You can send it to me. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. That's it. So it's just going to be true. Of course, Liverpool fan wasn't available for this time, so we'll get him on another stream. Tottenham fan is busy, so and City fan, there's not really many I can think of to get on. So yeah, RIP City. Yeah, I think it should be called the top 5 show. With
Yeah.
excluding City,
Excluding Arsenal
and
as
maybe
well.
even yeah, Arsenal also. But yeah, just Francis Law. So yeah, it's going to be a big stream. So yeah, I think we need to start off with, of course, Chelsea.
Way. Are you going
Wait,
to talk about how that guy from Salzburg rejected you guys?
yeah, just hold on.
Wow, that bird is
Uh,
amazing.
just hold on. Just
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
on.
Feed the birds, I know. Yeah, let me take off. So, Manny, if you go through Chelsea's summer window, what's your thoughts on it? How do you think they did?
The summer window.
Yeah.
Well, it's really sort of hard to remember what they did. The only thing the signing I remember them making was, of course, Aubameyang, which technically wasn't even in the summer, but it was during the summer that they had a pretty poor pre-season. I think that would actually have been the time when they needed to really invest a little bit more in terms of the squad, because it was clear that some of the players weren't really quite in. Really in the best of form. Mendy in particular should have been looked at, especially with the way he played against Arsenal. But so the deadline deals were Aubameyang and Zakaria. They finally solved their midfield problem, at least they did. And then, of course, Raheem Sterling came in, along with Koulibaly, Cucurella, of course, and Bafana. So... And they also got Casadei, the 19-year-old from Inter Milan, and also Chukwuemeka from, and they also got a couple of academy acquisitions, including one guy, Hutchison, from Arsenal. So it is sort of thing. You take a look at some of the purchases they've made. They seem to be only too willing to attacking Arsenal and also their defensive cover with Cucurella and Fofana. But the midfield, surprisingly, was not really dealt with. And when you take a look at the midfield, especially with the likes of N'Golo Kante losing his legs and not really being at the best of pace, it looks as though he might have seen better days. You would have thought that buying a midfielder would have been their top priority, but instead they waited until deadline day to get Zakaria from, I think it was Juventus.
Yeah,
from Juventus. So, I mean, at least they did. We tried to make a move for Douglas Luiz, and that fell through. So, but still, Chelsea should have been a little bit more proactive in terms of actually pinpointing their problems. And I think it's fair to say that quite a few of the issues and the disagreements that Tuchel might have had with Bowley sort of came to the fore. You would think that Tuchel, he would have also seen the need to address the relative paucity in midfield cover. Of course, now that he's been trying to bridge the gap with the likes of Gallagher and maybe even James perhaps coming into midfield. But, Gallagher is also still quite raw. And he also needs to improve his temperament a little bit, because playing on loan at Crystal Palace and coming back to play for Chelsea are chalk and cheese in every respect. So under Potter, it's going to be interesting to see how they progress, because they've only played one Champions League game. That was a draw. And it seems to be clear that the squad still needs to gel together. Hopefully, Aubameyang doesn't start. He needs to come on and have a few a short workout of maybe 30 to perhaps 45 minutes, but no more than that, and then just make sure he sort of gets back into the swing of things. But asking him to start a couple of games and then putting him under that pressure, I'm not sure if it would necessarily work. And ideally, he would also love to sort of get his sharpness in. So it will be interesting to see how Potter works with the new squad and what type of formation he's going to adopt. I'm of the opinion that Potter never should have left Brighton, but now he's at Chelsea, and the rights and wrongs of his decision, that's a story for another day. But Potter's now going to be up against it, and hopefully he doesn't become another David Moyes, who overachieved at Everton and has done really well at West Ham, but in between didn't have a good stint at Manchester United.
Yeah, I understand that, because Potter, mate, he was doing well at Brighton, and one of my Brighton mates, Luke, who comes from my channel, he was disappointed. Oh well, every Brighton fans were disappointed that Potter left, but yeah, man, it's just frustrating to see that whenever a big club comes for, Brighton that are doing well, then obviously he's gonna have to take it. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts. But listen, Hannah, this first time, now I rate a manager at Chelsea Football Club. Now Potter needs time. I know he needs time. You can't call him Potter out or question his lineup, because he knows what he's doing. Same with Dr. Detrant. He knows exactly what we need. So
yeah, I wouldn't say he knows exactly what we need, but at first of all, before I get into all my thoughts, Ollie, hallo, hoe gaat het?
Hello, how you doing?
Ek is goed, hoe gaan het met jou?
Oui.
I'm good. I'm good, Ollie, big up yourself. So we're just going to discuss a few topics surrounding each top 6 club. So on Chelsea, so of course Christian, what is his name? Fraudulent or Freud? Something. Something like
Chelsea
that.
for Salzburg.
No.
He looked like Jesus, by the way. He reminded me of Jesus. I can't believe that he's the guy who scored the Salzburg goal.
No, we're talking about the director of football for Salzburg.
The director the director.
Yeah, because Ollie, I don't know if you've seen it, but Ramon just posted saying that because basically Salzburg's director of football had a verbal agreement with Chelsea on Sunday, but now Salzburg decided to keep him and he's not going to Chelsea. You know what's funny? Yeah, that's another Romano.
I can't believe Romano's still
Romano's had a stinker. You know what? Hannah, I just realized. If you go on your DMs, it said. Remember when I sent you the "Here we go"? I think it was Sunday. Now it says "Post unavailable." So Romano deleted it, mate. Romano, mate, you absolute fraud, mate. Today it's 7 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna expose.
He's just bored of doing transfer deadline day stuff, so he just posting stuff for fun now.
Yeah, but that's an absolute nightmare. Christoph Friend, something like that, rejected us. Agreement was reached on contract between him and Chelsea last Sunday and has been cancelled by the Red Bull Group and they will keep their director. So it's just fun. It's absolutely. I don't know who else we're going to get. Hopefully it's not United's director of football, please. Or Arsenal's or Edu. I don't want him. They can say there. But
I'll say Arsenal.
Yeah, that's a one. It's another transfer the Bowley Group couldn't get through. It's another transfer.
Who did Bowley go to? Didn't he go to Nottingham Forest, wasn't he?
No, Bowley, Todd
Who's
Bowley.
Bowley? Who's Todd Bowley?
Our owner, new owner. Come
Oh,
on.
right, your new owner. Wait, who was your owner before that?
Roman Abramovich. Come on,
Oh,
Ollie.
yeah,
Catch
yeah,
up.
they were. No. Sorry, I'm a bit tired, so I forgot a lot of things.
No, okay. Fair
I mean,
enough.
I've seen him sitting in the stands. He looks a bit overweight. I think we should call him.
Manny
No.
calling
Here's the
out the
thing.
new Chelsea owner.
Hello, check
No,
it
here's
out.
the thing. I think we should call him. I think we should call him Roly Poly Bowley.
Okay, Roly,
I think
Poly,
we should call him
Bowley.
Bowley Glazer.
That doesn't rhyme.
No, Todd Glazer.
No,
Todd
Bowley
Glazer.
Cronke.
No, Todd
But listen,
Glazer.
No, Ollie. I call him Cranky.
Bowley, you know, Todd Bowley he's had so many stingers.
Yeah.
One 4-4-3 formation, like bloody hell, mate. Another one, North versus South. Another one.
Wait, he
He's
made
had a
that
stink-
up, North versus South? No,
Yeah, he made
South.
that up. Yeah, he wanted
Oh.
to make that. Yeah. Third one, he's had a stinker on the new director of football. Fourth one, you should have signed Ronaldo.
101, he's weird.
No, he shouldn't have signed him because it doesn't matter which striker you say. I mean, like Chelsea fans this year.
Hannah, what's your
We-
thoughts on Tuchel trying to reunite with Aubameyang and then he just left?
You need attacking midfielder and a left side forward. So I
Bro,
agree
you
with
need
that.
every position, so don't even say that.
No, we don't need every position. Defense of our
You need a
seven,
new defender, you need a striker, you need a midfielder, you need everything.
and you need.
No,
you
no.
also
With the
need
goalkeeper,
everything.
they still have Kepa.
You also need everything.
Kepa's
Squad
not good
depth.
enough for me. I don't think he's a good keeper.
I don't
He's probably-
rate.
You
I
don't.
don't
You
rate
probably don't
that.
even rate Ramsdale, so
No, he's decent. The other one.
exactly.
Uh,
So
Yeah, but nah, I just think Chelsea they have to do well this season with Potter. But I'm not gonna, give high expectation for Potter this season. This season we can write off. I think Chelsea fans know it. Just write off. Next season is the proper season. Hashtag Hayden.
but moving
You
on.
play
to
for
what
hashtag
Manny
United,
said,
mate.
when I first joined the stream when Manny was talking about the situation with Chelsea, I think that Tuchel was a very surprising sack. Even if you would have, it was made before the decision was made before the match, and he still would have gone. I think that it's probably one of the worst managerial, to get positions to lose because you've brought in Graham Potter, who's a very good manager for you because he's been doing well for Brighton. And I fear for Brighton now with, they're in the top 4 now. Will they drop out? I'm not sure because, they haven't got the best of teams and Potter's been, managing a side who, you on paper, you wouldn't put at top 4. So Tuchel, I think any Premier League team would agree you would take Tuchel any team, probably apart from Liverpool and Man City because they've got Klopp and Pep and they've been there for a while. But the other managers, they either been sacked or they would take him because he would make them a better team. I think if you would have kept Tuchel, you were given him time, you would have improved. You lost a few games, you drew a few games, but any manager can do that. Arteta's done it, Wenger's done it. Every manager loses games. It's not that every manager wins. Even Pep and Klopp have lost the game, and they're one of the best managers in the world. So it's not as if Tuchel's bad that he sacked. It was the board's decision. So the Chelsea fans, the Chelsea players, everyone should blame the board because it's not the manager didn't leave. He didn't retire. He was sacked. So I think it was a bit of a disgrace and a stinker from Chelsea because you can't. That's like us getting rid of Arteta. Everyone's going to be happy, but then who are we going to replace him with? And then you say who we're going to replace him with, but he's not going to make us better.
Yeah, true. Always.
Chill, Wes, chill.
Chill, always. But yeah, the main reason why he was sacked was because he fell out with the owners. They didn't agree on.
Well, it's a bit
some-
like Aubameyang with Arteta. He hated Arteta, so he left the football club. And
I'm a blood
he
clot Yang.
Why did he sign for Chelsea? That's the worst decision
Only
of
because
his
his
life.
house got.
No, Ollie, calm down. He has a right to do whatever he wants for his career. He wanted to stay at Barcelona, but Barcelona couldn't afford to keep him and Lewandowski.
He scored 10
And Armani, he got burgled as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, he got burgled, but he could have. The thing is, you can't play for Arsenal and then move to your rival club Chelsea and think you're going to win trophies. You're not going to win trophies at Chelsea. You're more likely
Why
to win
not?
Wait.
Giroud
Not
did it.
going to win trophy.
What trophy is
Ashley
Aubameyang going to
Cole
win?
did it. Olivier Giroud did
Hello,
it.
VAR.
Even
Oh, wow,
Pascal
Olivier
Giroud
Giroud
did it.
did it.
VAR check. That's a red card. Not last time you won a trophy. What?
What, FA Cup? That was
That was
Arteta's
FA Cup.
first season. And
That was it.
we beat Chelsea. We beat Chelsea and Liverpool in the Community Shield and FA Cup, and people are still hating on us. But
Yeah,
that's the
okay.
first silverware of Arteta.
Yeah, but it was with whose squad? Emery's squad.
Yeah,
That's with
exactly. So he
So
came
it's not his
and he
squad.
used a
It
squad
was
that
not
he's
his.
not used to and won 2 trophies. He's not an experienced manager. He's young. He's a former player. He's never managed a football team before, and he won 2 domestic trophies. Name me another player who's done that. Frank Lampard hasn't done that. Steven Gerrard hasn't done that. Brendan Rodgers. No other former manager has won 2 titles
Zidane.
in his first. Yeah, well, Zidane's one of the best players in the world. So
He done it. You asked for a player who did it. I tell you.
also, Arteta was a very good player when he played for Arsenal. Maybe won, but he was quite a
You
good
realise
player.
he's not an Arsenal legend. He's more of an Everton legend than Arsenal.
Oh
Yeah.
my! Now, do you remember the game where it was 0-0 Arsenal Everton, and both new managers watched their teams draw? So Arteta was in the stands and Ancelotti was in the stand. They both drew the game. Like, how can you watch a game where you're about to manage a team and you draw? You should be beating Everton away. Yes, they're home. Yes, they're home support, and yes, a clean sheet. But Everton at home, away, you should be beating them on that day. And then we were saying, obviously, Elliot was saying, Arteta's first game was a draw. And we say that with Potter. His first game was a draw. But who's to go and say that he wins more games? He might lose the next game. He might win the next game. We don't know. It's football. You can't predict football. You can't say Graham Potter's going to win the Premier League with Potter because he's a world-class manager. He's not world-class yet. He's class for me.
Well,
He's
who's
not
better, Arteta or Potter?
Arteta.
All right.
Arteta or Tuchel?
Oh my God, Arteta.
It's not
Listen,
Arteta.
Listen,
And-
even
and
though
no one's
I
better
like
than
Tuchel,
Arteta.
I
No
still
one's
think
better.
Tuchel's better than Arteta.
Wait.
Tuchel is
Oh,
terrible. He's not. Yeah. Wait. Tell me a team that Tuchel's going to manage. Then he has no team. He got sacked. How is a manager that got sacked better than a manager that's survived 3 years and he's been hated all those 3 years?
Hated.
I would say
Oh, Chelsea fans were
90%.
backing him.
90% of
When
people.
he got sacked,
No, no.
Haaland didn't
I'm talking
vote
about
for
Arteta.
him.
I'm talking about Arteta. 90% of Arsenal fans want Arteta out. The 10% of people who know ball knowledge and know what they're talking about because Arteta is a good manager. Yeah, but yeah, evening, Ryan. Hope you're doing well.
Ryan, good to see you, mate.
Well,
And listen, I want to
hello,
say well
Ryan.
done with the win over Cardiff. That was a 6-pointer, and you boys needed
And well done
that.
with the win over Swansea. Hanno hates Swansea.
They beat Swansea too?
No, Swansea beat Hull 3-0, and Hanno basically hates Swansea, and I support Swansea. So
I was speaking to Ryan, mate. His Huddersfield team. Look,
yeah, Huddersfield beat Cardiff. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of sack
What was
managers,
the score? 3-2.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't that. Wasn't it 2-1 or 1-0?
2-1. But Cardiff are doing well, so that's a good win.
No,
Arsenal
not
fans
really.
enjoy
No.
top of the league because Man City. Oh my God, bro. You are so dumb. Man City are rubbish. They're the second best team in the world. So shush. They're terrible. Okay? I don't care if City win 65-0. We're still top of the league. So shut your mouth.
VAR, please.
Chelsea fan. Oh, I'm a Chelsea fan. I like, I have Thomas Tuchel bed sheets. So yeah, they won 1-0. It's not. So. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Can you not do this again, Aresh? I'm muting my freaking mic. It's not funny.
Oris, I said no funny business on the street. That's Chelsea done. People remember to clap Ollie and send the clips my way. Come on.
No way, do not.
Some
If anyone makes any clips of me, you're getting sued. So.
sued for what?
Yeah, I'll be making a formal lawsuit to say Hanno has clipped Ollie for no reason.
For no reason. I think there's some big reasons there. But yeah,
Back.
also
It says, cheers, Pino. Cheers for the pink comment.
Big up
Hanno.
T-boys, but I'm only saying big up because...
T-boys, you support the wrong team, mate. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, you support the wrong team.
You're a nice guy, but you just support the wrong team. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
T-boy, I hope you let that 2-1 defeat Marcus Rashford.
Yeah,
You know.
I hope you like it.
Sancho.
I hope you like the draw to Fulham as well.
Sancho, man,
You can't even beat Fulham, mate, and they're relegation contenders.
Ollie, man, just
relegation continues for Fulham.
You do realize you're talking to a club that's won.
No, on paper, I'm talking about it because you can't.
You're talking to a club that's won a Champions League that you've never seen in your entire life.
Okay, boys, calm down. We have a full agenda to talk about, and we can save this for the end of the stream. All right. What's next on your agenda, Hannah? Go ahead.
Okay, Came more about Luton.
Well, they're a bigger club.
Yeah, bro, but you still support a Premier League club that can't win can't be in the top 4. So, plus Luton, where are they in the league? Like 24th. So,
no, respect Luton, mate. Nice, Ollie, for that.
Swansea the best Championship team in the world. So,
nah, for that's a red card. That's a red card. Ollie, backstage for.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything again because you keep removing me when I say facts. You can't accept that the fact that Swansea are a good team. So.
Okay, listen.
Okay, but let's continue.
Yeah, let's continue.
Okay, but next on the agenda is while Ollie.
Oh my God, T-boy, shut up.
Okay, listen. Look. Save the comments and the fights for later. We've got a show to do. Hannah, go ahead.
Oh my God! Do you want me to kill you, bro?
T-boys TV. Just calm down. Okay, we're trying to get through the show.
You say anything. How are you going to finish above us?
Ollie, calm down.
Can you just put him in timeout or something? Because
no.
Ollie, listen, we've got it. Ollie, just calm down. Calm down. Look, listen. People in the chat, if you want to have some banter,
join the stream.
Okay, yeah, we've got some stuff to talk about.
Move on.
Yeah?
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Wait.
No, we're not.
I'm going to watch the stream over. I know what minute, and I'm going to have fun time. But yeah, now.
Ollie, just calm
down. You're going to be famous. If I click, you're going to be famous.
The league.
Yeah,
for 2 weeks.
Another 2 weeks. So. Only 2 weeks.
Yeah, because of international break, mate.
Yeah, so keep crying about not being top of the league.
Yeah, calm down. You're top of the league. There's no worries. Don't stress.
I know you know what to do. Okay.
But next topic, while only is here, I want to talk about how good is Gabriel Jesus really? Is he really that good? Because
we've got Gabriel Jesus.
How many goals has Gabriel Jesus scored?
So he scored 4, and I think he's got about 3 or 2 assists so far. But he scored against the Brentford in the Brentford game. So So obviously, Jesus, when we were linked with him, he scored 4 goals in the game, and that's him. So we got him 45 million because Man City bought Haaland. We got him. A lot of people hated him. I think personally, for me, he's a summer signing. I think 45 million for a striker who can guarantee you goals. With Arsenal, obviously, we got rid of Aubameyang. I've seen him live before, seen him score a hat-trick, but he's past his prime for Arsenal, and it was a good time for him to leave. Lacazette, another player that I've scouted from Lyon when I went to the Emirates Cup. he didn't do well for them. He came to Arsenal and he did well. He went back to Lyon, and I think his career's kind of fallen down now. We were without a striker. We just had Nketiah, and we brought in. I'm not saying world class yet, but he won the Premier League with Man City. He scored goals. A lot of Man City fans didn't like Jesus, so they now happy that they have Haaland. But no, he scored 2 goals against Leicester. He scored a goal against Brentford. He got an assist against Bournemouth. He almost got an assist against the game where Saka scored. So basically, I think he's almost been involved in every goal each game. I don't think he's been benched. The only problem I have with Jesus is he plays the game, and within about 10 seconds, he goes down, even if someone pushed him. He's very injury prone. Obviously, he hasn't been injured yet, but what I'm worried about is if we have a break, because he's not in the Brazilian team, and we come back and he gets injured, then that's it for Arsenal. It's the same with Aaron Ramsdale. If Aaron Ramsdale gets injured, we cannot rely on Matt Turner in the Premier League. The same with Nketiah. We cannot. Obviously, with the Fabio Vieira, I'm quite happy. That's the first time I'm happy that Odegaard is it. Bro, you can't say that. Okay, I'm happy.
No,
I'm happy when players
he's
get injured
agreeing
for
with
Arsenal.
you.
Yeah,
He's,
well, no,
he's
right.
agreeing
Say
with
last
you.
season when we lost 2-0 to Brentford, I was worried every time we had an injured player because we didn't have anyone to replace them. We had an awful team. We had Balogun. We had, we've got rid of those players now. Arteta knows what he's doing. Now we've got Zinchenko, who, yes, he's been injured quite a lot, but he got an assist in his first game and he's got a few clean sheets. Saliba has almost got 4 goals and he's only a centre back. Bearing in mind this guy's gone on loan and I didn't even rate this guy before he came. We've got Jesus, who's, I'm not saying that he's going to score more goals than Haaland, but he's catching up and he's got about 4. He gets more assists, I think, than goals. He's good at getting assists away, and at home, he's quite good at scoring goals depending on what team he plays. Now, I've got to call out Spurs fans. You can't cheer for beating Leicester 6-2, okay? Any team can beat Leicester. I've seen this meme about Man City beating Leicester 20-0. Danny Ward cannot save anything for his life. I could score a goal with my head and still score against Ward. Ward is the worst goalkeeper I have ever seen in the Premier League. And I've seen bad goalkeepers. I've seen Fabianski when he was bad. I've seen Martinez when he was bad. And I can't stress to you enough how bad Danny Ward is. And that's why they're bottom of the league. Marty's bad. They are not gelling as a team. They didn't sign anyone. They got rid of 10 players and they signed 1 player. They got rid of their goalkeeper and they almost got rid of their 2 big strikers. And they think, they play games, they go ahead, they were drawing, and then they lose 6-2 and let Son, who's been very in form, score a hat-trick. Same with, Liverpool. They've been bad. Liverpool could play Leicester home or away. Salah could be on the bench and he could come on and score a hat-trick.
Wait, Ollie,
it's not...
after Tottenham, you play Liverpool. Do you think you'll beat them?
Yeah, I think right. Clip me now. I think that we will beat Tottenham at home. We've got.
Oh, this is just a general question.
No. This is opinions, okay? I'm not saying that this will happen, but I think that we can beat Tottenham at home because that's a derby, and we need to make North London red. Okay, I wouldn't mind being in that game and losing to Liverpool because Liverpool can, for finally feeling happy they can beat Arsenal for once, which they always do. So, I've watched Arsenal play Liverpool billions of times, and I don't think I've ever seen Arsenal beat them. So if Arsenal beat them, then it'll be the first because I might have seen them win. The most closest game I've seen is Arsenal losing on penalties in the League Cup in Wales, and I was watching it in a pub, and I was excited about the game. It was 5-1 penalties. They then won. I also remember a very bad memory when I went to Greece, Crete, Kefalonia, Elenunda, and I went to watch a game in a pub. This guy, he's an Arsenal fan, effing and blinding, and we lost 3-1 and we only scored 1 goal. So what I'm saying is we're away to Liverpool, so I don't mind. We could beat them. I'm not saying we're going to beat them. I think we'll lose, but like anyone will agree, I want to beat Tottenham because it's a derby. Tottenham aren't very good this season. We're at home. We've had many away games so far. We've had Brentford away. We've had Bournemouth away, Crystal Palace. We've had tough games away that we wouldn't have won last season. So I think that Tottenham is the next Premier League match. So basically 12:30. Is it 1st of October? I think James is doing a watch along for it.
Yeah.
1st of October, Arsenal 12:30 kickoff. It's our first 12:30 kickoff of the season so far, which is quite interesting. On BT Sport, I have BT Sport, so all I've got to say is I'm quite confident for that game. I'm going to go with a 2-1. I feel like Kane will score maybe first, and then I feel like, we'll come back, maybe Jesus with the goal. But with what Ares is saying, form goes out the window in a rival game. Arsenal could have lost 5-1 games in a row and still beaten Tottenham, or Tottenham could have won 5 games in a row and still lose. The same with you, United. You lost your first 2 games, you've lost some games, and Man City have been unstoppable this season. Who's to go and say you can beat them? But what I'm saying, and what Arsenal fans and any other fans are stressing, is that Man City are a very, very hard team to beat this season. They've beaten Bournemouth 6-0. They've beaten teams 4-0 for fun. You can't go to the Etihad and say it's an easy game. That's like us saying going to the Old Trafford was an easy game. It was not an easy game. We lost the game. We got a goal back. We played well. The 2 goals we conceded from Rashford, no one was back. I don't know what it's as if we wanted them to win, because last season was more close than this season. And you've got to agree with me. I don't know what has happened to Ronaldo. Messi is clear of Ronaldo. He scored more goals. He's got more assists. Ronaldo's past his prime for me. You can disagree with me, and I know I show Speed's crying in his room, but he's past his prime. He can't score goals. He scored 1 goal in the Europa League, which probably any striker could do. Even Aubameyang could do that. And he's got no goals in the Premier League. So until he gets a goal, I'm going to rate it. The same with Tony. Until Tony gets an English goal, I am going to rate Tony in an English football shirt. I rate him for Brentford. I am not rating Tony based on, he's done well in the Premier League, so now he's going to play for England and suddenly score 10 goals. No, it doesn't work like that. He's going to play. He's going to get a first cap, probably off the bench. And then he might score. It's Italy and Germany, so we'll see. But I think moving on to the actual topic, Jesus is a good striker, and soon he'll become world class. Okay, he's not class. He will become world class. That's what I'm saying. This all you want. He'll become world class. But I think, Jesus one of me the best signings we've ever made. I liked Aubameyang. I didn't get a shirt of his. I got a Theo Walcott shirt. I quite like that signing. But Jesus.
More Champions League goals than Zidane, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that another thing I've been saying as well, and this is my final point. After I got this shirt because of Jesus, but if you look in the Premier League, there is a lot of former Arsenal players. You go to, apart from United and many other teams, I look at teams and I look at former players. You look at West Ham, they've got Fabianski. You look at Aston Villa, they've got Emi Martinez. You think about goalkeepers as well. Leno. He's at Fulham. Willian's now at Fulham. So it's interesting seeing all these former players leaving Arsenal and then doing well. And the only one I'm worried about is Aubameyang. And I know some people rate Aubameyang at Chelsea, but I'm just not ready enough to see him score goals. I want to see him score goals for Chelsea. I want him to do well, but he's not a snake. And I don't agree. Obviously, I'm calling out Joel here. He's not a snake for join. He's not a snake for joining. That's like me, Jesus, joining for Tottenham. I would be incredibly mad if he joined for Tottenham, but that's his personal choice. That's his, his lawyer's choice. That's his own manager's choice. That's the club's choice. It was his choice for joining Arsenal. No Man City fan said, "Oh, Jesus, you're rubbish. Go to Arsenal." It was Jesus, the board, and everyone's fault. And it was Edu. And I don't get why people hate Edu, because Edu is Brazilian, and he's the reason we've got all these Brazilian players. Arteta can speak 5 languages, and Edu is a good recruit, and everyone keeps basing it on a clip of him sniffing his daughter's toes. That was last year, and did you see that he tried to bid Douglas Luiz, and he didn't get him? And I was happy with our transfer window, even without getting Douglas Luiz.
Money, just
Douglas, money, continue.
Okay, listen, I'm going to answer the question first. Do I think he's a good player? Yes, I do. Is he an improved?
The question is he that good? Is it that good of a striker that Arsenal?
I'm going to come to that. And I think he has been better than a large majority of the strikers that we have had. And yes, I do think he is, because his goal-scoring record for Manchester City has not really been much to write about. Now,
he scored 4 goals in one game, Manny.
Ollie, please calm down. Let me speak, okay? Now, so if you take a look at his overall record, it's certainly not really that much to write about. I think only once or so has he really been able to score more than a few goals a season. And certainly you want your strikers to be more prolific. Even if we take a look at his record as an international for the Brazilian team, the Seleção as they're called, his goal scoring record with them wasn't exactly one about which to write home then and there, at that point. Now, he's come and he's certainly been given freedom to start a lot more games, play some more games, and obviously find some rhythm and discover his potential, as it were. But it still remains to be seen whether or not he can really deliver the goods. But with more games, he seems to be getting more and more into the game, as Ollie has said. So he is a fine addition, definitely an improvement on Alex Lacazette, or Lack of Threat, as we used to call him during his last few seasons with us. And he hasn't done too badly at Lyon.
I've seen him live, man. He's a good striker.
Seen who live?
Lacazette. I remember I went to the Emirates Cup and they played Lyon.
Oh my God, no, Lacazette is
just. No. I'm talking about in the past, okay? He didn't do well for Lyon, and they lost 6-0. He joined for Arsenal. I watched the Europa League game where him and Aubameyang, they were good at the time, okay? I'm not saying they're good now, but they were good at the time. One of the goals they scored, they were losing 1-0, and one of the goals they scored, the goalkeeper came out and Lacazette passed it to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang scored. Aubameyang then scored in the last minute. But what I'm saying is they're not good players, but in the past, you look at the likes of Alexis Sanchez. He played well for Arsenal. I've seen him live as well. He then went on to flop at United, and now what is he doing now? Flip-flop into foreign teams.
Okay. Listen. Now, I get your points perfectly, but if we were to take a look at what's happened to them after they've left Arsenal, Lacazette actually had a decent start with Lyon, and I don't know if he's been able to continue that, maybe to injury. But when Aubameyang left Arsenal, he went to Barcelona and tore up the field, torching Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. And I think he scored about 10 or so goals and had quite a few more assists in that short period, and that was enough to get Chelsea's services. So it's an adage of form is temporary, class is permanent. So he will start scoring goals again once he gets back into the group. Will do everything he can to try and help him. As for Jesus, he is a fine addition. And and as I was saying, during Lacazette's last few, especially the last season, he was otherwise known as Lack of Threat, and with good reason. The very idea that he could be picked basically for his work rate, as it were, it was enough to make you kind of roll your eyes, because if you are a striker, then obviously you can add a little bit more work rate, but you are basically expected to score more. And like was dropped later on for Eddie Nketiah. But with Jesus coming in, I think it's fair to say that he might not necessarily have fitted into the City mold, because they probably wanted a lot more, probably some more dynamic strikers for a certain game, and they have the ability to play horses for courses teams, where sometimes they require different types of players for different teams in different games. But with Jesus coming in, he certainly can evolve and do a lot more. It's not get excited about Arsenal's performances this season. We cannot get excited about their performance.
So you're not excited about beating Leicester 4-2?
Calm down. No, I'm not excited about beating Leicester 4-2, because it was a game that we should have won. And let me speak. We've only played one really top team.
Who? Oh, United, yeah, of course.
But Oli, you just said Tottenham fans shouldn't get excited because...
Yeah, because Tottenham are the worst team in the world. They haven't won a trophy in 14 years.
Oh my God.
What, you would say the same thing about City? You probably hate City. They're terrible.
We're beating City, yeah. We're going to beat City.
You're not beating City!
Oli, you said Tottenham fans shouldn't get excited because they beat Leicester City 6-2.
Yeah.
Now you say to Mane,
No. I'm saying that was a good game. And I'm not saying I'm excited. I wasn't exciting. It's Bournemouth. Crystal Palace wasn't exciting. It's, the first game of the season everyone wanted us to lose. The 3-1 Man United game was probably the worst game I've seen this. Power cut. That was the worst game I've seen. Zurich, man, Lee Gunnar needs to chill. He was mad about losing. He was mad about losing to Zurich. What's bad about beating Zurich and conceding a goal? The goal we conceded was a penalty that shouldn't have been a penalty. And how is Matt Turner going to save that? We scored 2 goals, Marquinhos getting a goal and assist, and then Nketiah scored. This is something with the team we had last season, we probably wouldn't have won that game. Another exciting game, Brentford game. That's probably the most exciting game to be honest, because because we were expected to lose that. And many Arsenal fan predicted a draw. What did you predict? A draw?
Yeah.
I was laughing at people on Graham's channel who predicted a draw, and I was on his channel, so big up for having me on this pre-recorded video, and I said 2-1, and I said Jesus to score. Jesus scored. We won the game. I didn't think it would be a clean sheet, but Brentford were awful. I saw the goal, the first goal. Saliba went in. I don't know what David Ray is doing. The form goes out the window in this game. Ivan Toney was terrible. Everyone thought he'd score a hat trick. Ray is apparently he can't even save. If you didn't watch it, the goal basically Saliba put it in, and it went in the goal. And David Ray decided to put it out as if it didn't go over the line. It clearly went over the line. They didn't need to go to VAR. They gave the goal. Didn't see the Vieira goal, so I need to watch the highlights. And I didn't see the Jesus goal. So they might have been good goals. But the thing is, I've been saying it on other seasons, Arrest Rocks Football, me or Anthony, we are a very underrated team. We could be top of the league, win the Champions League, win the Europa League, win everything, and we could still be a bad team. What I'm saying is, as well, we could be bottom of the league, we could be terrible, but we could still be a good team. The same with United, where's all this confidence coming from where you've lost to Real Sociedad and you're 5th in the Premier League? The same with Liverpool fans. They still think they'll finish above us. They're 7th. You drew to Fulham and Everton and you lost to United. And how can you gas you up saying that you're going to finish above us when we've lost one game this season, which is against United, with the United game, we are terrible against top 6 teams. And I don't know what Ramsdale does against top 6 teams. Jesus has never scored against United. So if we would have won that game, that would have been history.
You never scored against United?
Yeah, it would have been history because we were at Old Trafford. And if that was the Emirates, we would have won. Listen to what Joel said.
Oh, my God. What is with the excuses, man?
No, our record at the Emirates against United is good. I don't think we've lost a game, since 2015? The same with Arsenal. I don't think we've won at Old Trafford since 1887 or something. And obviously we've seen the 8-2, we've seen a 1-1. No, but actually we have won recently. We beat you 1-0. Yeah, 1-0 Aubameyang penalty. Yeah, so it's not as if we've lost, never won. The thing is, this year you deserved it more because of the 2 losses you had at the start of the season where everyone doubted you. Even you were annoyed. Every United fan was annoyed. They were done. Then you go and suddenly beat Sheriff and a few other teams, and you're suddenly gassed. Not going to finish above us. And I'm calling out this guy as well. I was DMing him, David. I don't get where the confidence is coming from, David. You're not going to win the league.
Yeah, we're not winning the league, man.
That's more deluding. Arsenal going to win the league because we're actually doing. There's no way that United are winning the league. And listen to Traps, all right? Traps is a good guy. He would rather finish 10th and win the Europa League. And David disagrees with him. I would rather do that. If you're if you're United and you're looking at Arsenal doing well, I would rather do crap in the league, focus on the Europa League and win it because you win a trophy. That's silverware for the team for Ten Hag. You get a confidence boost and you automatically go into the Champions League. And you don't need to worry about the league because you don't need to qualify for top 4 because you're in the Europa League. And even if you win the FA Cup, that guarantees Europe. And if you win the League Cup. So it's United's to play for. And you don't really need to worry about the league. You could win the league and still be upset because you could win the league and lose the Europa League, get knocked out of the FA Cup, get knocked out of the League Cup. And what I'm trying to say is we're top of the league. We've won our first Europa League game. We're top of our group. And suddenly losing to United is a bad thing. Every team in this league, apart from City on a good day, Liverpool on a good day, Tottenham on a good day, and those teams can beat United. any other team who is, even if Brighton are on form, no one can beat United at Old Trafford. Do you agree with me? No one can beat United at Old Trafford.
Well, we lost to Brighton, mate.
Yeah, you lost to Brighton at home, but that was the first game of the season. That reminded me a
All
bit
I'm
of the
saying,
Brentford game.
Ollie, is you need to calm down. That's what I'm saying. Arsenal will be Arsenal. You know, last season, yeah, you guys should have got top 4. You guys should have made it, but you didn't have
No, but
season.
look,
No,
I'm
no,
not blaming.
what
I'm not
saying,
blaming all or
better.
nothing, but none of the players like being
No,
filmed.
you can't blame.
It was pressure for them to make top 4 because they were being filmed. They
All
were
the
being
players
filmed.
agreed to be filmed, Ollie. All the players agreed to it.
Yeah,
It was
they
part of the
agreed,
contract.
but some of them may not have liked being filmed. So
Oh.
that's like me saying I want to take my photo, having my photo taken, but I don't want my photo taken. Sometimes they agree to it because they're famous and they get paid for it. You know, they could hate being on camera, but they could get paid a load of money just to smile in one scene. That's and I could literally be in a TV program for 1 second and get paid nothing. That's the thing with football. They get paid hundreds of million pounds for kicking a ball around when people in the UK are saving lives. You know, why are they there kicking a ball, being very ungrateful, swearing? You know, they don't care when they get a red card. They don't care when they get a red card. They're aggressive. And then there's people in the world like NHS workers who are working, who are, you know, saving lives, and they don't get any respect because they get paid much less. They get paid much less than footballers, and they just don't get treated the same as footballers. And I think that interesting for you, Arrest. Arsenal women are playing Ajax women today. Look, in the Champions League.
Yeah, you're losing.
Nah, mate. Yes, Manny's back. Oh, should you remove Hanno because he's not here? Just remove Hanno. Yeah, there.
Why do you want to remove Hanno? I mean, he's pretty much the one who's setting the agenda.
Hanno,
what's happened to him?
Hanno said something in the group chat. He said, "Ors take over till Manny gets back. Talk about Rashford." But no, Manny, we'll talk about you. Is it the power? Whoa. He's back.
Is Hanno back? Hang on.
Oh, Manny, was it another power trip? Is that what happened?
Yes, it was. Like,
okay.
look. The same thing which happened in your stream is happening now. I need to get.
Manny, you need to sort out your Wi-Fi. Sort out your Wi-Fi, Manny.
No, Ollie. It's not the Wi-Fi.
Oh.
It's not the Wi-Fi.
Oh, right.
It's the computer. It doesn't have the stabilizing mechanism, so I need to set that right. So at least whenever I have this thing with have this happening with the stabilizer, at least the computer will remain on, and then it'll survive that. But anyway, the question was: is Gabriel Jesus a good signing for Arsenal and as good a striker as people think he is? I think he is quality, but what I'm saying right now is now that he's joined a new team this season, it's a clean slate. Everything that he's done for Manchester City in the past, he has scored 20 Champions League goals for them over the course of 5 or 6 seasons. But also that many goals in the Premier League. So there are two ways to look at it. Now he has a chance to test him. What?
He scored goals in the Premier League. What are you talking about? Jesus has scored goals in the Premier League.
I'm not saying he hasn't, mate. I'm saying that his goal-scoring record over the last few seasons with City has not really been the best.
Oh yeah, but
so he has to now
come up. They rotate.
So he's coming. Okay. You still sometimes need to. Sometimes you need to have horses for courses approach. But now he's at a new team, and we're going to see how well he does against some of the bigger teams. He's played against Manchester United. He got into the game, but I don't know if he had an assist for the Saka goal or the.
No, I don't think he did. Because he didn't touch the ball, so I don't think it was.
Yeah, so we need to see how well he can raise his game as an Arsenal player, and that's all I'm saying. But I have no doubt that he is good. He just needs still room for improvement, and even his goal-scoring record for Brazil isn't that great. But he is good quality. He is an improvement over Lacazette in that number 9 role.
Manny, why wasn't he picked in the? Just quick question: why wasn't he picked in the Brazilian team? You think is it because of Firmino or is it because of?
Look, I'm not going to delve too much into that because Brazil do have a wealth of talent, okay, and they are going to get a few more friendlies to try to. There's going to be the training camp as well, and the form of every
Oh.
single player is going to be, checked. I mean, Dani Alves was in the team not too long ago, and he's
Oh,
not
yeah,
in the
yeah,
team
yeah.
now. So, I mean, they're going to. Tite will consider everyone available, so let's not get out boxes in the bunch over this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's talk
Now-
about Rashford.
Yeah, I'm going to defend Rashford.
No.
Last season, yeah, I am going to defend him.
Wait. Before you go on, is that all you want to say on Jesus? It's going to be good, but let's don't overhype him.
It's just whenever I say something
Yes.
about Jesus, everyone disagrees with me. He's a good player.
Yeah, he is. Before we go to United, I just want to.
Oh, Hannah's like that.
Oh no, Hannah.
Me?
Oh no, you're all right now. Yeah, Hannah, I can speak a bit of Afrikaans, you know. I'm joking. I don't speak a
Hello.
word. I speak a bit. Hannah, your McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Anyways, let me take over
Yeah.
because obviously Hannah.
Yeah, go on. All right.
Yeah.
Right. Marcus Rashford. Marty, go on, defend him.
Yes, I will defend him. So here's the thing. Everyone knows about the huge controversy that took place around Euro 2021, and everybody knows about the work he did to make sure that children across the UK got fed.
Yeah.
And for me, he is a national treasure, no doubt about it. And the love that was given to him was terrific. But it did seem apparent that under Solskjaer and Ragnick, he seemed to lose a little bit of that edge, if you will. And it was reflected in his performances where he wasn't scoring too many goals and he was on the bench. But this season,
Rest, get out.
No, I just added you when you joined. Carry on, man.
Yeah, it does seem clear to me that Ten Hag has made it crystal clear to Rashford that he is valued, he does have ability, and he just wants him to make sure that he proves himself, but also that this season could very well be his last at the club. And I think Rashford has responded very well in terms of getting involved in training, being a lot more proactive, getting himself sharp and getting more into positions and getting back to the form that saw him get picked for England. So I'm actually going to say right now that he is getting back to something resembling his best, if not completely his best, as it were. And, you know, he is improving. And I definitely think that once he gets back to fitness and starts playing well again, and scoring goals again, he will be picked as an option for the squad. Now, a lot of people are talking about Tony. Well, he's been picked for these two Nations games. And my biggest fear is that with Tony, he could very well end up being another Michael Ricketts, who also wore the number 17 during his club career with Bolton Wanderers, and I think also with Middlesbrough.
Well, Bolton are playing today, by the way. One of my second teams.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. I did like Bolton under Sam Allardyce. And
I've been to their stadium.
Also were
I met Marcus Alonso.
Sam Allardyce, you like his football money.
Okay. So my biggest fear is that Ivan Toney could very well end up becoming another Michael Ricketts if he isn't given enough of a chance and if he doesn't take whatever chances he gets. And bringing him in for these two Nations League fixtures into the squad, and then with not very much in terms of international football before the World Cup, might not really be fair for him necessarily. So I do worry about him. And so if you want to have someone who has the proven experience and the ability to start, then definitely come on as a super sub and provide the options, then Rashford should be back in the England squad. But of course, now he's injured. He's not in the England squad currently. So hopefully once he gets that rest and recuperation, he will come back. And I think Ronaldo is getting on a little bit. He has clearly seen some better days. And, he needs to... Rashford now needs to take advantage of this and
what about
continue to
Sancho,
make sure.
Manny?
Sancho has been in good form as well. He's another player who tailed off a bit under Solskjaer/Ragnick, but under Ten Hag, he seems to be revolutionized a little bit. And that is where I think Ten Hag has proved successful so far because he has gotten them playing a bit
What
better.
about Rashford? Why do you defend him?
Well, I mean, I defend him also because of his talent as a footballer, but also because I like the bloke. But
What
I
about
think he
Anthony?
is. Anthony is not English.
Oh no! I'm talking just
He's
in
just
general for
arrived.
United because obviously he scored a goal against Arsenal. Do you think he'll?
Down. Fair enough. I speak as an England fan. Okay, I speak as an England fan.
All right.
When it comes
Yeah.
to supporting England, club rivalries and dislikes and peaks go out of the window. Okay.
What? So even you don't care about Harry Kane?
Legend for England, but otherwise I don't like him.
Yes.
And the same thing can go for
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh no, Manny. Oh, Manny. Oh my God, no.
It's about having
he's
a
back,
healthy
he's back.
respect for people. It's having a healthy respect for people. Okay. So I'm defending Rashford because I believe he has the talent. I believe he's improving, and I think he will still be an asset for England given his experience. But it remains to be seen once he recovers from his injury how well he plays for United in these next few months before the squads are named. I do believe that Southgate still likes him, and I don't think that Tony will will end up getting into the England squad unless he has a brilliant game against Italy and Germany. My biggest fear is that he could end up being another Michael Ricketts. He could end up being another Michael Ricketts. That's my big fear. But
Did Michael Ricketts ever score a goal for England, Manny?
Calm down, mate. Please let me speak. And the answer is no, not to my recollection. He had one cap for England, and that's it. We never heard.
That's what Tony will have. So.
No.
Aren't you, Mr. Nostradamus, Mr. Sinclair? Yeah, Ryan says that you can't judge a player in 2 games, and
No.
That's my biggest fear is that you're just giving him this belated chance, and telling him you're under pressure to perform. If you don't score, we're not going to pick you. So this shouldn't be the end of Tony. No, Tony needs to be considered for future squads. So I don't believe he'll be another. I hope he doesn't become another one-cap wonder, but we'll see what happens to him. But for now, I'm happy with Rashford. Long may his renaissance continue.
Yeah.
Orest.
And
Orest, you right?
Yeah, man.
but
Let me have my
before
thoughts on Rashford. No, I know. Let me have my thoughts.
Okay. Go on.
Right, listen. Marty,
Super striker.
you defending
Better than Ronaldo.
after having a very, very poor season last season. Very poor. No, let me be real. This season, I would say after the first 2 games, after that, he has been very, very good. And that's where I can give him credit. But, he has to be consistent for me to prove me wrong. If he is consistent this season, then I will. Ollie, what's up?
Just the way. Don't worry.
Rashford for me has to be consistent. The thing is, Rashford, what's going on, Ollie? I know he's scored.
Rashford is not. Why are you rating Rashford?
No, I'm not.
That's like.
I said I'm not a massive fan of Rashford, but this season I can give him credit.
Okay.
And for the City game, of course I'm starting Rashford at the City game, man. But no, listen. I think Rashford for me, I don't know whether if it's injuries that he had. But listen, this season, I think he will have a good season. I think Ten Hag clearly trusts him and clearly rates him. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Hannah, what's your thoughts?
So I wouldn't say he's back on form, or close to his best, or going back to his best, because look, the 2 goals he has scored has been from the left wing position. So it's not really been in that. It's not really been going back on his former self, back on track. But yeah, Ollie, is he back on form? Is he the old Rashford?
No.
Why? Why not?
Because you can't base him on games where he scored 2 goals against Arsenal. Anyone can do that. Even Tony could do that, and he can even score 2 goals against Arsenal. So I'm not creating any beef, but I know that Aresh probably doesn't even rate Jesus. So
No, I do. Whoa. I do.
what? So do you think he's world class then?
No.
Exactly. I don't think Rashford's world class. So,
But
No,
that doesn't mean you rate him.
all right. Listen. The other reason I don't like Rashford as well is because him and Sancho, they didn't get blamed
Missed the penalties for
They
England.
missed the penalties for England, and everyone's being racist and horrible to Saka. It wasn't Saka's fault. Why are you putting 18-year-old boy who plays for Arsenal to score the winning goal against Italy, and everyone's just being horrible to him after the game? What's wrong with him? He scored 2 Arsenal penalties after that, and 2 Man United players before that hit the post, and the goalkeeper saved it. Whatever, one of them should have easily gone in. They hit the post. And then how are you blaming Saka when he directly looked to the right and Donnarumma, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, saved
No. That is completely incorrect. All those players shared the blame, okay? It was unfortunate that Saka was the last one to be picked, and I agree that what happened with Saka was diabolical. Southgate should have known better, having been one of those players who missed a penalty, the only player who missed a penalty in that Euro 96 shutout. But all 3 of those players were attacked. Why do you think that those people in Manchester...
but Saka was attacked more because he missed...
Calm down, mate. Calm down. Just calm down. Rashford was also very brutally attacked up in Manchester. And know that up in the north as well, there are several pockets up in the north where people are very, very racist. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree that there's a lot of racism in the south as well, but in the north, it's more pronounced from my observation. But there were hundreds of people, maybe even 1,000 or so, who came out in Manchester to make a mural for Marcus Rashford. I mean, the mural was already there, but they put thank you notes on his mural saying, "We love you, we support you."
Same with Saka.
So even he got hatred. So Saka, Sancho, and Rashford were also all attacked badly, and they were also attacked because of their race. Okay? What happened to Saka was absolutely diabolical. I completely agree. But all 3 of them suffered the same racial abuse. Don't start trying to make it an Arsenal thing by saying that all 3 of them bore the brunt. Okay?
But with the penalties as well, Maguire, we didn't expect him to score a pen. He scored a pen. Harry Kane doesn't miss a pen unless someone saves it. But the thing about that shootout was Pickford was definitely one of the heroes of the shootout. When he saved, I was excited when he saved it. And then the 3 penalties just ruined it for me. And it ruined the evening. It ruined, the whole tournament. I didn't even think we'd make it to the final, but the way that people are blaming that the woman won and the men didn't is just so diabolical, because the women deserved to win. They played well. They deserved to win the Euros. And then you're saying,
all right, Ollie, I'm gonna cut you off. Sorry, I've got a
okay.
stream coming up in 5 minutes. So
yeah.
So Orsuk's football 5 minutes. Oh yes.
Not 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes.
Subscribe to Restocks Football.
13, not 50.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, in 30 minutes. Yeah, 1-3, not 3-0. Make sure to tune in. Basically, 7 p.m. UK time to be nice. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll send you the link.
No wait, fans. Oh, okay.
We'll see. But yeah, man. Yeah, 30 minutes or football. Big up Hannah, me on. Big up Marnie. Big up Ollie. Marnie's always a pleasure. Wrestling you every time.
Yeah. You don't rattle me, okay? I know how to deal with you. Don't worry about it. I can cope with you.
All right, big up.
Manny, are you going to be in the stream? Are you going to be in the stream, Manny?
I'll see. I mean,
busy?
If I have time, if I have some time, I'll pop on later. I'll get the link from Forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, big up you two. Big up you three. Big up you guys.
Yeah, always. And then, okay. So we have discussed Rashford. We have discussed Jesus. I think just my points on Jesus. I think he still needs to score. If he can get... No, what? Why? Okay.
Getting a call.
No, why? Well, wait, just So yeah. So on Jesus, I think he still needs, if he can get at least like 15 goals this season, then I will have a bit more respect for him, especially in that shut Arsenal team. Doing that,
Shut up, oh, Anna.
it's incredible to do that. So yeah, but yeah, he's close, but he still needs to prove himself. He has loads to prove. But yeah, so the next topic, we go back to the other side of Manchester City.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we know Haaland. The people are loving Haaland, but is he better than prime Sergio Aguero for City?
No.
Why? Why is City?
Look, you can't really rate Haaland after scoring 10 goals for the team.
Okay, now let me change the question. If you had a team, now your two striking options is prime Sergio Aguero and this Haaland. Which one are you taking?
Well, of course, Haaland, because he's younger and he's got more potential. But the thing is with Haaland, everyone hated him at the start of the season when he missed the sitter in the when they lost in the Community Shield. And I was actually supporting City in that, but Liverpool managed to win 3-0. But no, I think that he's proved everyone wrong. Everyone didn't expect him to score 20 goals, and he's probably going to score more than that. He scored youngest player to score 2 hat-tricks in a row. He's broken many records already, and he didn't score a hat-trick against Wolves, but he still got the goal, and he's almost scored in every goal he's played in. He's doing well in the Champions League. Pep hasn't rotated him, which he used to do a lot with Jesus and Aguero. So look, I can't rate him like you said with Jesus. You can't rate him until 15 goals. I'm going to rate Haaland because he scores 20 goals. I know that he's got how many in the Premier League? Like 8 now, 8, 10, whatever. But in all competitions, I think he's got 11. But look, I'm going to rate him.
Doesn't he have like? I think he has 14 in all competitions.
Yeah, 14 in all competitions and like 11 in the Premier League. But thing is, what happens with players like this? They score like a hat trick early on, and then they either get benched. Games get postponed. They rotate. So we can't base Haaland on 2 hat-trick performances, 1 goal, and I think he scored a debut. There's been some games where he hasn't scored. He's not going to get 40 goals. Okay, that means he's going to have to get another 29 goals for the end of the season, which is possible. But 29 goals is probably going to be spaced out between cup games. If he starts, he might be benched for cup games. Champions League, he's probably still going to start as well. And possibly, I'd say, base him on the end of the season as well. If Haaland is the golden boot, that's another thing. If Haaland is the golden boot, if Haaland's got over 20 goals, then we can all say that Haaland's had a good first season and he'll have a good second season. But you can't base him on you can't stop him. Ryan, you can't stop Haaland. It's like you can't stop Jesus, Jesus. No. Listen here. Jesus is good. Some people can. Sometimes he has a bad game. Sometimes he has an off game. We were expecting him to score in the first game of the season. He got an assist. He then scored against Bournemouth. With this, we could be really excited about Haaland, the Man City fans. And then the next game he might not score. That's the same with Jesus. He scored against Brentford. He may score a hat-trick or 2 goals and 1 goal the next game, or may not score. That's the same with Haaland. I think they've got a Champions League game, today or tomorrow. He may score in that. He may not even start. We'll just have to wait and see. But the next Premier League game against United, that's going to be Arsenal game because, I don't get how United and all these United fans are confident because I've spoken to dozens of City fans and they've said, laughing at him, saying that they're going to win because in City, you can't beat the City team this year unless Man City have a bad game and they rotate players like they did against Arsenal when we beat them, and then obviously they won because of the Rodrigue goal and the penalty. But look, they're on top of the season. Haaland's great, and the question over Haaland and Aguero, it's almost like comparing, Robert Perez and Thierry Henry. They're both quality players, but they're both retired now, and you can't, thing. But I'll let other people speak, and I think that Haaland's a good signing for them, and he'll score maybe 20 goals and get the Golden Boot.
Okay. Money.
Yeah, I actually voted in the poll that you put up, Hanno, and if to answer the question whether I would take Haaland now or prime Sergio Aguero, I mean, as as people can probably say, it's very difficult to judge him based on the few appearances he has had. But when you take a look at the ability and what he lends to the team, he's a different player to Aguero in his prime. Aguero was certainly a lot shorter, so he was a sort of the type of player who would run a lot and try to get in. You could think of someone like a Michael Owen, except maybe with a little bit more in terms of speed and someone more prolific, if you like. But with Haaland, you take a look at his height, 6'3", moves beautifully for a forward. And the goals he scored this season have been, of different qualities. Some have been absolute corkers, others have been tap-ins. So he's the type of person who has all the weapons in his arsenal, pun not intended. And Ollie, you got that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ability and the attributes and what they lend to the game. If you were to ask me who I would pick out of prime Aguero, for me it would be Haaland, because a guy like him can definitely, redefine a number 9, if you will. He's the type of person who can certainly become a very pivotal, consequential player for City, and maybe could very well be the difference between them winning the Champions League this year and not. Rather than simply bottling it like they did in 2020 against Manchester City. I mean, Chelsea, rather. Sorry about that, Freudian slip. But, so, yeah, that answers my question. I take Haaland, but Aguero was a top-quality striker. And the problem with Haaland, with Aguero's game is that, as with Owen, he'd be more injury-prone, and obviously he was benched a great deal in final season. Certainly that prime scored that winner against QPR pretty much ceased to exist, and certainly given the way he retired due to heart problems, which was a big tragedy, I was hoping to see him resurrect his career at Barcelona and maybe feature in this upcoming Argentina World Cup team. It was very, very tragic indeed. But again, with regard to attributes, I take Haaland. Simple as that. Whether Haaland will actually break those records, again, that will remain to be seen. And segueing into the point about Manchester City, yes, they can be beaten, because against Aston Villa, they could have lost 2-1 had it not been for that stupid flag-happy linesman and a completely ignorant referee. And Haaland was limited to 1 goal. Emi Martinez made 3 saves to keep out Haaland and De Bruyne and a few others. So they can be contained and they can be beaten. And of course, there's that draw against Newcastle, where you could see that to get in behind the back line and make yourself prominent and put that much pressure on them, they can be beaten. And Ederson certainly isn't the goalkeeper he was when he joined City. So yes, City can definitely be beaten this season, and I don't see them emulating our our invincible season in any way. But they are still favourites to win the league, and I think Haaland will definitely feature. He will find a way to score goals, and I don't know if any team that can stop him unless it's a very well-drilled team. So we're going to have to see. But he's
I have to go now because I'm going to join a rest stream. But big up Manny, big up Arrest and Hanno. So
Okay. Last question. Is Klopp's time at Liverpool? Is he done? Should he leave or not? Should he stay?
We'll see at the
Manny,
end of the
you
season.
answer first, Manny. Yeah.
Yeah, if at the end of the season he doesn't win any silver or achieve what he wants, then maybe it could very well be that he's done his as well as I do. He's going to want to, request that one more season to help build that new team further, especially given that they sold Mane, and maybe they'll want to try and get a few more players in. I think this season he hasn't really been that proactive or that astute with his transfer inputs, but he's still a fine manager. Liverpool are still a fine team. We'll see what happens. He's done, but it will be a decision that he will get to make. He will get to decide when he should stay or go.
Yeah. Okay. Ollie, quickly.
Yeah, that's another good point from Manny there. I think that we will base him at the end of the season. You can't, with Tuchel, you can't sack a manager before a match when you don't even know the score. Yeah, the same with Klopp. They've had a bad season, and Liverpool fans can't say they haven't. They drew to Fulham, they drew to Everton, they lost to United. Games they should be winning last season, and they're not winning them this season. So, look, at the moment, lost 4-1 to Napoli, which again they wouldn't have done last season. They did obviously, come back with a win in the Champions League, but that's Liverpool for you. They're one of the best with Man City in the Champions League. They could lose one game 10-0 and then win the next one 4-0 or 2-0, whatever. But look, Klopp, you can't say, Klopp sacked, Klopp's a fraud, because he is at the moment, but you can't sack a manager based on a few games you've had. A lot of Liverpool fans suddenly coming confident saying they'll finish above Arsenal. That comment is a bit delusional to say. I've said delusional stuff in the past, but that's the most delusional thing I've ever heard. But I think, Klopp, give him time. He might, improve. He might come back. But I would sack him if they don't get top four. But Hanno's had to go, guys. So I think I will just do Where Can I Find You while he's gone. So you can find me on DJ Sinclairo. I just hit 1K, so big up Manny, big up Hanno, big up Joel, everyone who joined that. James, Arrest, Brady as well. That was a great stream. 1K, great to celebrate. I can't believe I hit it yesterday on my dad's birthday. It was great to hit it on my dad's birthday. I thought I wouldn't get it by the end of the year. So next aim, I guess, is 1,100, and then we will move to I guess 2K. But Manny, are you gonna stay in because I'm gonna leave, or?
I'll stay if we have something more, and if I still stream. So I'll see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big up Manny. See you soon.
Yeah. So wait, has he gone? Well, apparently Hanno's gone somewhere, so rather than having some dead video, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit. So you've seen a few disputes, some friendly arguments, if you will, and yeah. So hopefully you've got an idea of what we want to talk about, and looks as though Hanno's back. I wasn't going to leave until he came back to say goodbye, so I hope he can appreciate that. And I think you've heard a lot. I think you've heard a lot what Ollie had to say about Arsenal. Clearly, I'm happy that we're playing well, but listen, we haven't played any of the top teams yet, so I'm going to just urge a little bit of calm. That's all. And I think the season isn't won in August or September. We need to improve our record against Manchester United, against Chelsea, against City, against Liverpool, and of course there's a North London derby against Tottenham. We cannot assume that will be a win. Tottenham do look very ominous, and it could be a difficult game. I might predict a draw, but again, if Arsenal win, I'm a happy chappy. Hannah, you got anything more to say?
So yeah, just my thoughts on Klopp. Easy on fraud watch? I don't think so, personally. I just think he's going through a rough patch. Should he leave at the end of the season? I think he maybe should, if the local owners see there is someone better to replace him. If not, then keep him. But
Agreed.
last question,
Yeah.
Manny.
Yeah.
Can Conte win the title? Can he do it?
Very difficult question. One of the things I'm going to say for which I admire Antonio Conte is that unlike Mikel Arteta, he has been proactive and very assertive in the transfer market. I want him. I want him. Arsenal aren't interested in that guy. I'll take him. And they've pinched a few players who could have been assets to our squad. And in the Premier League, he certainly has been doing quite well. You know, they're in really good form at the moment, and they're also in the top three. And this is to urge some calm because we've got to play them on the 1st of October. And so they're going to do against them. As for whether or not Tottenham can win the league, Tottenham do have a pretty good record against Manchester City. So it will be interesting to see how Conte, organizes tactics to shape the team against City and against Liverpool. I actually think that seeing the way the likes of Kulusevski and Perisic have been performing and a few others coming into the team, they have a really, really good shout. Perhaps one Hugo Lloris still looks a really top quality goalkeeper. It's pulled out of the France squad for these upcoming Nations League games, but maybe it's because he might need a bit of a rest. I definitely don't see him being dropped for France in favor of Mike Maignan. You got to go somewhere?
No, no, it's all good. It's all good. So that's the last question.
Yeah. So whether or not Tottenham can win the league, I was talking about their defense. That could perhaps be a little bit of a worry if they have a bit of a bad patch of form. But the goalkeeper, Lloris, is still top quality. Still France's best goalkeeper. Still should be France's number one for the World Cup. And it's going to be interesting to see how he organizes his midfield. And with Son coming back into form, he now has to sort of find a way to make Chivli enough to get the best out of him along with Kane. I think it's fair to say that Harry Kane missed Son, and Son definitely had a point to prove. And it was pretty smart from Conte to bring him on when Leicester started to flag, because he probably sensed that Leicester were flagging a bit, stretching themselves, trying to attack more, but leaving their defenders isolated. That was the time to bring him on, and boy, did it work a treat. So he is tactically smart enough for the Premier League. He was a Premier League winner with your lot, Chelsea, as you would know, Hannah. And he could very well be, if he plays his cards right, among the top 2 or 3 coming this season. Definitely among the top 3, maybe top 2 in the season, but we will have to see. Because sometimes Guardiola can be a little bit tactically naive. And I know that Oris will be talking about the Manchester derby. I was saying earlier that if you can get behind the City backline and cause problems, you could put City under pressure. So Conte could be in with a shout of winning the Premier League, although when it comes to the Champions League, maybe not quite. But if he does do well and gets some challenging for the Premier League, I think his owners will be very happy with him and definitely want to keep him.
Yeah, fair enough. They can, but I don't think they will win it. But last topic, Simon Phillips Sport says it's not just midfield that our new owners want to tackle; they also want to look at attacking options. Chelsea are ready for a serious approach from Bayern Munich for Kai Havertz next summer. So Bayern Munich are looking to get Kai Havertz from Chelsea next summer. I think if he doesn't do well under Graham Potter, I think it's time to. I think he's had enough time. I think he should go. But yeah, be a Chelsea fan, and it's good
with
to
Havertz,
see
with
see you
Havertz,
next
I think with Havertz, Hanno, I think obviously has a few more points to prove, and I think he did get back to scoring ways against West Ham when he scored that winner, which preceded that incident with the Cornet disallowed goal. So he could also play his way back into form and possibly do well for Chelsea this season, especially with it might be interesting to see how well he partners with Aubameyang. But if Bayern Munich decide to get him, then maybe just as with Timo Werner, just maybe a return to home comfort could be good for him. We'll have to see. But it's interesting to see how so many of these players who you think are out of form suddenly get some, spark, and then they start performing well again. So that's something really interesting indeed.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But that's the end of the show. Just going to end the poll. So on the poll, Haaland or Aguero, the people have chosen Haaland, and there are 4 votes. Who's past their prime more? Who's more past their prime? It's Ronaldo. 100%, 6 votes. So yeah, that's the result. Manny, quickly shout out your socials.
Yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at Thangadurai1981. That's my surname and my year of birth. You can catch me on Instagram at MannyThangadurai1981, which is my full name and my year of birth. You can find me on YouTube on several channels and streams: Del Boy Gunner TV, S Feetly TV, Oris Talks Football, King's Football Show with King Said, a few appearances on the Football for Thought podcast on NS Sports, and also with Hanno's Coach Corner. And let me also say right now that every time I come on to do a stream with Hanno, I always enjoy it. I always love listening to him talk and having a conversation with him. For someone who really is interested in sports at such a young age, it's very refreshing indeed. So please keep subscribing to his channel, keep watching his streams, his watch-alongs, or what have you. He's doing a great deal of work, and it's wonderful to see. And once again, all I can say in Afrikaans, bedankie bud. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, Manny. Yeah, again, big up yourself for joining always. Now it's what, 1 a.m. probably nowadays. It's a late morning day. So big up for always sticking through the end. And yeah, and we will sort out a stream where it's midday for you, and or maybe
No,
nighttime for you.
no,
So
listen.
yeah.
Listen. No, don't worry about the time for me, because this is actually a form of relaxation for me. So I'm ready to jump on anytime as long as it's convenient. I'm worried about your timing because you've got school as well, yeah?
Yeah, but it's the last week of school. So, and in the last week of school, we don't do many stuff. So yeah. So then,
Top.
but yeah, in what city in India do you live?
I live in Madras, or Chennai as it's now called. So we're on the southeast, and it's rather hot and humid over here. It's the
Yeah.
first British settlement. It was the first British settlement when the British came in. So a lot of people over here do speak English, and one of the 4 major metropolitan cities in the country. I don't like heat or the humidity. I would sooner be back in England, but I also that Africa along the coast, it does also get rather humid. But I'm sure also, I know it's also a very beautiful country, and I might like to come and visit there again, visit soon. So yeah, we'll see about it. But I want to go back to the UK very soon, so I'll keep you updated as to my travel plans are.
Yeah. If you're coming, if you don't like the humid, you just like dry, hot, the dry, hot weather, then come to the western part, not the eastern part. Because the eastern
Good
part,
call.
it's humid. It's humid. But yeah, big up everyone. Big up Ryan, big up Chelsea fan, big up Tyler, aka T-Boys TV for joining. And people, please make sure, as the pinned comment says, like and subscribe to this channel. Just hold on. Okay. But yeah, like the pinned comment says, like and subscribe if you are new to this channel. And please subscribe to T-Boys TV Extra. It is the clips channel of Tyler's channel, T-Boys TV. Now on Tyler's channel, the main channel, T-Boys TV, it covers different football stuff, championship, mostly Luton, and then of course Liverpool, Premier League, and they will be starting boxing on there. So I'm just going to post random clips of his channel, like watch along highlights and stuff like that. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel. That's one of my passion projects. I would like to call it. So T-Boys TV extra people. Oh, and it's one click. I want to get it to 50 or 60 subscribers by the end of the. That's the main goal because, yeah. So yeah, that's that. And everybody, see you all later.